From Las Vegas, the entertainment, music, and sports capital of the world, it's the JJ and Johnny Show.
We're live on a big day, November 5th, Election Day in America. John D. Domenico and JJ Snyder here. This is the JJ and Johnny Show, live in Las Vegas. This is the electoral map with the swing states X'd out. And just like 2-year-olds, we're going to sit in front of the TV tonight.
And crayon.
With crayons and slowly watch our fate as a country come to fruition. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Wow, we have a lot to talk about.
Where do we start?
Holy cow. Should we talk about Back to the Future?
Oh, my God.
To our theater. Should we talk about the Dodgers winning over the New York Yankees?
Wow.
3 mistakes. Single largest comeback in World Series history. It was absolutely incredible. There's a lot of exciting things happening in the U.S.
So the symbolism to me of the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Coming back from behind. The Dodgers coming back from behind.
You still talking about? No, but I like that analogy. Thank you. No, I was also thinking the New York, California rivalry.
Yeah,
that's on the table today with the presidential election.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is. It's right. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, New York, California. That's fantastic.
I'm just saying.
I didn't even put that together.
The World Series. Well, of course, living in LA, I'm a huge Dodgers fan, and so for me, it was just like heavenly. But I love the personalities. I love the players.
Yeah. I was watching, the actor Nick Totoro is on Instagram, and he was very New York, going to the final game. He was just, it was so New York. He was cursing and upset about the 3 errors and how bad. And he said, but, LA won. So, and I'm not particularly an LA fan. I just, I have baseball. I've been to all the stadiums in the United States, and I collect the hats.
Have you been to every one now?
Every one except Pittsburgh, but I have all that. As Cass can attest, I have all that. I have one rule about the hats. One rule. They have to be bought at the stadium.
Yes!
And he has an ungodly amount of hats.
Heck yeah.
Ungodly.
Yeah.
So wait, you just missed the parade, though, because you were in LA over the weekend.
Yeah, I was. We were in Burbank, but the parade was downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown Los Angeles, which you don't really even if you're an actor, it's very rare to go downtown unless you're going to LA Live.
Studios.
Places like that or some weird audition.
No, some creepy audition.
Yeah.
Although I used to go to a very kind of avant-garde writing class downtown. And then the other reason I would go downtown LA as an actor.
Shows, right?
No, actually, where I was going was the Garment District to get like costume stuff for theater.
Oh, okay.
Or like things for props for theater.
Yeah.
Because that Garment District in downtown LA is like going to another country.
Yeah.
Or another couple countries. But anyway, hey, celebrating your birthday over the weekend.
Yes.
Everybody wish Johnny D a happy birthday. Let him know what you love about him.
We had a birthday dinner. Oh, you'll appreciate this. So Michelle set up a birthday dinner for me with my LA friends at Castaways in Burbank, which is high above. It was absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
It was a beautiful night. It was nice and cool. We were right on the patio. For those of you who don't know, look up Castaways in Burbank. It's very high in the mountains, and it has an unbelievable view of all of Burbank and then on to LA proper. Mm-hmm. So it was great. The next day, a friend of mine, Philip Wilborn, who's the other Trump on Jimmy Kimmel, him and I kind of trade, we go back and forth on who's available, but he's been on there many times. He's also the ABC 7 weekend weatherman. He has kind of been doing a career change, and he started a production company called Bandit Jones, which is first half is Smokey and the Bandit, second half is Indiana Jones. They have all their office space. They're at former Columbia Studios, which is now Sunset and Gower.
Wow.
So he gave us a complete tour
of
all the studios and all the TV shows that have been there, like Golden Girl. Actually, whatever you can think of was shot there. Soap and Benson and you know, it was truly an amazing day, and I'm really inspired by him because he's changed his career. Now he's a TV producer
How
for
cool.
shows that are coming up on Netflix, and he's a funny
Man,
guy.
going from a weatherman, you don't see that often, like a weatherman
So
transition
weatherman-
into production. But he's in LA.
Yeah, he's
so.
in LA. He's a weatherman, Groundlings member, great comedian,
Oh, it all
super
makes
nice
sense.
guy. But he really wanted to make
Got it.
kind of what I'm doing with my corporate work and keynotes and things like that. You get you get a little older, and you want to make some changes. Oh, come on, man. That's no joke. Oh, what are you talking? There's my sarsaparilla. Come on. My dog Rex.
Seeing all these impressions of Joe Biden, it actually makes me just a little more soft for him. Like, I really have affection for him at this point. It's pretty cute.
on, man.
Watching Dana Carvey on SNL.
He was so funny. This week, Dana Carvey was so funny.
Wasn't he so funny?
I just love. I love how he does
He's
it.
really boiled it down to
Just
just
a
a couple.
squid. Oh, come on. No joke. No joke.
Yeah.
Your eyes out really
Yeah.
wide.
He just goes
Where
for
am I?
He's just narrowed it down to a couple modes.
Yeah, but just a
So funny.
few things.
John Mulaney back on SNL. We should just change this show from a show about Las Vegas to just a review of SNL
Yeah,
every week.
every week.
Like we
I would
could.
love that. I don't think we could. I think we'd be the only ones.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We could just break down each sketch.
Chappelle Ronan was very good.
What worked and
Chappelle
what
Ronan.
didn't.
Chapel.
It's Chapel.
Chapel.
You're the one that
Is
first
it?
corrected me. Chapel
don't
Ronan.
know.
I just, she's very talented.
There was a couple sketches that worked and a couple that didn't.
Oh, they had some
You know
serious
what the
clunkers.
best
They had
sketch
some
was though? They did. The game show.
with the tall guy.
Yeah. With
The new
skin.
Bill Hader. The new Bill
Who-
Hader.
I
with
mean,
John I have to say
yeah,
something.
I don't know if he
You know,
has
I'm a-
the range of Bill Hader,
Yeah.
but it would be
Oh,
great
right,
if he
yeah.
did. But man, is that guy pasty? But
Yeah, he
he's
is pasty.
Nothing wrong
tall
with
and
being
tall
pasty.
and pasty. And
But he's great.
I'm a political guy. I was an intern for a U.S. senator. Spent years doing that. Obviously, political comedy.
Well, I
But
voted.
when-
I voted.
And if you're watching this, you haven't voted, and you're here in Nevada or anywhere else, go out and vote.
Let us know
It's
if you
worth it.
voted or
Let
if
us
you
know
wish
if you
that you
voted.
voted.
Go get in line right now.
Go get in line.
if
That'd
you're
be a
not-
lot of fun.
You'll
Yeah.
get back to us around 9 o'clock
You know what?
tonight.
You can take your phone with you and watch us for the next hour and a half while you stand in line to
Right.
vote.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. But
what were
no,
you
I was
talking
going to
about?
say, I follow
SNL.
politics very closely, and then when Tim, I'm not going to say his last name, but when the vice president from 2016, potential vice president.
Oh my gosh!
I went.
You couldn't either.
My
Name
brain.
his last name.
I was like,
I love. Did you guys see this sketch on SNL? So no one could name Hillary Clinton's running mate, the actual man.
as soon as I heard it, I was, oh, of course. But it was one of those things that just shows you how quickly you forget.
I
about
loved it because
things.
it pointed out our hypocrisy, and we all know SNL is like a fully left-leaning show. It's like it happens right in the middle
Oh,
of
no, no,
Manhattan.
no. They're fair and balanced, like Fox News.
But that's why
silence.
I love that sketch so much because I don't know. I just after a while I get a little tired of jokes completely on one side or the other, and this was more like pointing out the hypocrisy of all of us.
Oh, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
I really thought it hit a nerve. I really
Didn't
thought
it?
it hit. Yeah.
Didn't it hit it?
It hit it. It hit that nerve.
Yeah.
It hit that nerve where we think we're so on top of things, and you're like, you know.
What did you think of the musical number where they sang kind of in the Dwayne Reed at Port Authority?
Can I say, every time John Mulaney's on, they do a musical number. He's very.
We love John Mulaney.
He likes big musical things. He did a show called Co-op, which was a parody of Company. It's a short. You can find it online. But everyone's in late 70s garb. You know, they've got Stephen Sondheim. They're all playing these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very inside baseball. First off, you have to know Broadway. You have to know Broadway musicals. You have to know Stephen Sondheim, and you have to know that there is a documentary about the making of Company, which is not a monster show.
I did not know this.
So here they are, and I appreciate what John Mulaney does, because obviously he's the brains behind this,
Behind
about
that
these,
sketch.
about those kind of sketches where there's music. So I'm watching it, and at first I'm thinking, and I think everyone knows.
I love the setting, a Dwayne Reed in Port Authority. I'm in.
Everyone knows it.
I love the milk. I love the bit about
I had
the
to take
milk.
that bus. I had to take that bus for a
Gross.
year.
It's so gross.
For a
I've taken
year.
it,
I
like,
did
once.
an off-Broadway show, and it ran a year, and I had to catch the last bus every night to get back to New Jersey
Yes.
before I lived there. And you're literally going to Dwayne Reed to grab
Yep.
something to eat.
Dinner.
And then for that
Probably like
90-minute ride
Hostess
home.
donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was I also thought, this is so New York. And it seemed like somebody wrote this when they were very high. You know what I mean? It had a very 420, vibe.
Well, the
about it.
first solo. So the wall on the convenience store on the Dwayne Reed, the drugstore breaks, and the first thing to come out is the possums, right?
Very high.
I mean, right there, it went left field. It was like, what is going on here?
It was
And then it got weirder.
It got weirder, but yet it was very
was
insightful
good.
about living in New York and taking the bus. Because, you know, a lot of performers, which I thought was kind of aimed at in a way, you're getting that last bus out. And I would see other actors, Broadway actors, catching their buses out to the suburbs of New Jersey.
That's very insider and very cool. Speaking of insider, we have some great people watching with us. Mr. Robbie, thanks for hanging around. We saw you in the chat earlier before the show even started. Merci
we
from
did.
France. Hello, we're all going to move
Bonjour.
there. We may be moving there in the next 24
Yes,
hours.
we're
So
leaving
I don't know if you have
the
room
middle to
in your
France.
house. Please talk about the swing states is what we're getting. Well, glad you brought that up because we have a swing state map right here.
What's funny, I'm from Pennsylvania and we live
Yep.
in Nevada.
Yep.
And that's two of the states.
Yep. You get a lot of attention. When you're a swing state, it's like you start to think it's just all about you.
I love being in the spotlight.
Don't
Yeah.
you, Cass? Are you feeling the love?
get-
I'm feeling the love. I'm from Idaho, a known red state. So it's
yeah,
always
I
like Idaho's
mean-
gonna be red no matter what. But now I'm in Nevada. It's a purple state.
Yeah.
It's a swing. It's exciting. I
It
love
is
it.
exciting. And how many times have Kamala and Trump been here? Sometimes at the same time.
Dude,
and I
on
live
Halloween, they were both here.
really walking distance from the Henderson Pavilion, and each of them were there at different times. It was
Yes.
really amazing to have, you know, a former president, a vice president within walking distance of your home.
Do you remember, speaking of people who hosted rallies over the last couple of weeks, and it was like they were on a rotation, like every 4 to 7 days they were back in town.
Right.
Do you remember about 6 weeks ago, I worked for a beauty convention,
Yeah.
and I brought in some product afterward that Cass and I were having
How's
fun
my
with.
skin look?
By the way,
Excellent.
but I don't know if it's, actually your skin is really smooth. Did you shave today?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Literally
I wanted
right
to look
before
good.
we. Yeah.
Okay.
I literally before we.
Right? So, Beauty Society, the company I work for, hosted Trump in their warehouse. Remember I told you
Oh
they
my
had this
gosh.
That was
beautiful
them?
list? Yes!
Wow. Was there?
So
Did they
it's a
have
small
a
world.
good? Did they have a positive effect, or they get some heat for that, or?
I don't know. I haven't asked the owner personally, but I mean, boy, what a beautiful facility. So I guess they felt like, I mean, it costs money for people to host a big event like that.
Hell yeah.
But they felt like they contributed, and people should contribute. Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland,
What are you talking about?
swing states.
No,
What?
these are the swing states. Nevada, Arizona.
Why are the? But what's this? I'm just trying to figure out what this list is over here.
Wait, let me see what you're looking
Massachusetts,
at.
Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Oh,
I
it's
know what it
because
is.
they're tiny.
The states are so tiny they can't
They're-
tell how many
they're
delegates
tiny.
they
Yeah.
get.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. Thank you. All right. So Massachusetts has 11. Connecticut.
Isn't it
7,
amazing
Rhode
how
Island,
small
New
Mass is, Massachusetts is,
Yeah,
and how
and
many
they get-
freaking mass holes you run into in life? It's
Isn't
unbelievable.
that true?
Yeah.
Massachusetts gets around.
They get around, and they have a reputation.
So wait, we're supposed to talk about the swing states. So pull them up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, before we do that, I just want to shout out SatServe. He just threw out a
we love
$9.99 $9.99 super chat. Thank you for being in here,
SatServe was one of our
SatServe.
biggest contributors on our last Trump Live. When we're gonna do it, and for those of you who came over from the Trump stuff, we'll be probably doing one more, like a wrap up, but we won't even know the election.
Wait, is that the status with you and your lives?
Well, we had said from the beginning, Cass and I had said from the beginning, we're going to do this. It was more than a year, and I said, we're going to do this right up to the election because of my birthday. We didn't do it on last Friday, but we wrapped it up the week before.
So there's at least one more.
There's got to be, because we need to close everything out.
Yeah.
And we know that right now with what Arizona has already said, that the possibility of them taking 10 to 14 days to finalize and certify everything. We may be in limbo for a while, unless there's just an absolutely huge Trump slide.
Who let this guy in?
Trump slide.
Trump slide.
Trump slide.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
It's me.
So this is exciting. And remind me, how many press conferences have you two done this year?
I think we were right under 40.
We were right at 40.
We were at 39,
Wow.
I believe.
Yeah.
We did 39.
And that's 39 hours
Hours.
of comedy.
Yep.
You and Billy were guests. We had a lot of great guests. We decided to kind of release the gas after a certain point. A lot of our wonderful followers and subscribers
you
said,
know why?
"Hey, it moves faster
Because
without the gas."
you listen to the people who watch, and please let us know if you watched John's press conferences. If you have any favorite moments that you remember.
SatServe
But
has.
I just
SatServe's
like to
there.
log on and just watch you riff, because kind of like you can watch Trump riff and you don't know where he's going,
Right.
like really. But it's also
The
kind of like
wave.
there's a
We
fear
caught the
factor
wave.
of like, oh my God, this is real. With you, it's more like comedy. Like I don't know what's going to come. out
I
of your
promise
mouth
I
yet.
will not fillet the microphone. That will not be done.
I saw that.
What was the story around that?
So-
Did you guys see this clip? We should have this ready.
Oh, that we should have.
We should have this
I
ready.
will find the clip. I'll find the clip
He
for
pulled
you.
out the microphone. The mic was in his left hand,
The mic wasn't working. He was bitching and complaining,
and he
said, "My
actually-
stupid people, my stupid people." There it is.
Here, I'm
But
going to
can
see
we-
if I can
can
show
we
this
show
on
this to
stream.
Yeah,
folks?
this will be great. If
This
we
is
can-
a great test.
we
I'm
can
going to see
show
if I can
this.
do this. Everyone's going to see what's going on
But
here.
basically,
Okay.
he was complaining about the microphone. He said to pay the people. He called his people stupid. Get the sound.
It's that. It's that.
so funny.
Wow.
So yeah, he was very upset.
Yeah.
He was very there.
It's that. Did he have to do that?
Did he have to do? You know, if he was a CEO of any Fortune 500 company, he would have been
He'd be
fired.
gone. He'd be
He'd be
gone.
fired.
It's so funny.
It would be.
So
It would
funny.
be all over.
The guy has a pass. Okay, so Arizona, Nevada. Funny,
Yeah.
we're touching each other.
Well,
Minnesota, Wisconsin, yeah, Michigan, where I went to high school in Michigan. Very interesting politics up there.
A friend of mine's a political person, and he sent me the counties. These are the bellwether counties on the front end. So Fayette County, Georgia, Nash County, North Carolina, and Lackawanna, which is I went to school in Lackawanna County at East
Did
Stroudsburg.
you?
Yeah, Lackawanna. These will be indicators where these three go, but it'll come down to about 6 or 8 counties that will decide this election, because Trump won back in 2016, and some of the same counties either won or lost by.
That's crazy.
There's more people
In
on 2
2016
floors of one of the casinos than that decided the elections.
I went to sleep thinking Hillary Clinton was our next president. I had to go to sleep at a certain point because I was doing a morning show. When I got up at 4 a.m., I found out Trump had won the election. And I walked around like a zombie that whole day. I was in shock. So, but that was called being blindsided.
That was being blindsided, but you know, I was working with people from the New York Times in 2016 because we were doing the Trump cast with Salon and some other people. The person who produced the show was the political person from, they had Jacob Weisberg. And I was on the road. I'm performing. I was literally crisscrossing the country, practically worked every single day in 2016. And my on-the-ground experience was telling me Trump was going to win.
Okay.
Every interaction, everywhere I went, obviously I'm dressed as Trump, but I wasn't getting any pushback. And I was seeing things I hadn't seen in any other election. And the stories that I tell, and I actually told this in a documentary that's coming out in the next few months about playing POTUS. And it's a big, everybody's in it. Dana Carvey's in it, and Will Ferrell's in it, and a lot of well-known people. But they came to my house, a 9-person crew.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And it was really cool. It's the same guy who just did the documentary about Will Ferrell and his writer, how she transitioned. They drove across the country. But one of the stories I told, and I had many arguments with people from the New York Times and some other things. I said, I'm seeing some things here that are indicating to me that things are kind of counterintuitive. One of them was, this was early on in 2016, but I came out of my room. I was at the Grand Hyatt in San Diego, California, and the housekeeping person said, "Oh, Mr. Trump, I love you, Mr. Trump." And I said, "You love me? You love me?" She said, "I love you, Mr. Trump. Billy Wall. And I'm like,
Build
what?
the wall.
Yeah. I'm like, really? And and all the other housekeeping, they wanted to get a photo with me, and they were very pro-Trump, which shocked me because it's counterintuitive. That happened in San Diego, Dallas, Orlando, Chicago, and I don't think it was New York, it was some other city. And all the housekeepers who were from Mexico and Guatemala and Ecuador and all of these places were pro-Trump. And I very surprised. It was a very interesting data point to me.
Can we because I think it's really interesting. Sometimes you can watch national shows, or you can take the temperature of, for instance, take the temperature of the people who were at your birthday party on Sunday night. That's going to be a Kamala group. In general. No,
there were a lot of Trumpers there.
Okay, yeah.
There were a lot of Trumpers
Now
there.
that I think
This
about
is
it.
for people who are watching outside of
We are kind of
Las
50-50.
Vegas, it's 50-50 in this town.
I'm
Some very well-known performers you watch when you come here and see them, they're big Trumpers.
Well, in all fairness, though, some people are Trumpers not because of him himself. They recognize that he's ridiculous or whatever. They recognize that he's extreme, but it really is policy. It really is policy for some Republicans, I feel.
Right. Well, for some people, but there are some people who are just, it's inexplicable.
I think, and what you're telling me about with the housekeeper seeing you is that was like, they're also responding to the fame on some level.
Oh yeah, and I think, and by the way, this is 2016. A lot of people have been through the mill with him now, and they know his policies and they know how he interacts. And some people love that. Some people love the hard guy, tough talking kind of thing.
Some people in my family love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some people in my family are horrified.
But it's very counterintuitive. You know, I was a Boy Scout, and I was, all these raised a certain way, and he's kind of the antithesis of what you would see as a president. His style.
A lot of value, a lot of behavior.
I've
what do you have to say?
got some announcements for you guys.
Okay, let's hear it.
SatServe threw us another $9.99 super chat. Thank you, SatServe.
What?
SatServe. If you're including a message in this donation here, I can't see it on our platform. So if you can just separate it in the comments, write it out again for
Kamala.
me. We'll read it out and we'll make sure we get what you're saying out here.
Down there.
Everybody wants to vote.
Tuning in from Sweden. Thanks for being here. 583NY289.
Oh, hello, Sweden.
Johnny D. for Prez.
Oh,
Johnny
thank
D.
you,
for
Satsu.
Prez.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic, I have to tell you. I'd be the greatest. You would laugh, you would cry, and it would be fun, and I would save you money because I'm cheap. I'm so cheap. Cheap.
Love it. Thanks.
All right, so you want to talk about break away from politics for a moment?
Oh,
please. Talk about Back to the Future.
So we both have seen Back to the Future, the musical. Back to the Future, the musical, toured through Las Vegas. It's closed now. But it just did, 2 weeks?
Closed. It moved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
moved on.
I'm sorry. It moved out of Las Vegas. It moved from Las Vegas.
We have
I do think it only has a couple more months on Broadway, though. Sorry.
Yeah, but I was going
right?
to say we're very again for people who don't know, you think of Las Vegas, especially people who are watching around the world. You think of Las Vegas and you think, oh, showgirls, which you can barely see anymore. But we do have a beautiful the Smith Center here,
Performing Arts Center, which is a probably bigger than a standard we should
Broadway
know the
theater.
Capacity of the Smith Center.
Yeah, can you look
Looking
that
it up right now,
5,000
gang.
I
something?
think it's
No.
larger
Couldn't
than
be that big,
larger
could it?
than a Broadway theater.
It's
so anyway,
beautiful. It's 10. Wait, let me give details. You walk in. It's just 10 years old. It's got high seating on the sides and little. What do you call the little pockets? Kind
Box
of
seats?
a box seats. It's got beautiful box
Parterre.
seats and like red velvet, and the
it's
style
and
is Art Deco.
It's Art Deco from the moment you walk in. It's
Yeah.
marble and this cherry wood and this
Yes.
beautiful kind of Art Deco. It's very much 30 Rock. When you get in the lobby of
Yes.
30 Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, the floor is black at 30 Rock, but here it's
I've only
white.
seen
Well, actually
pictures,
kind of a caramel color.
but I've heard
2,050 seats.
That's pretty much standard.
2,050. Okay.
That's a
All right.
pretty much a standard.
So
it's a real legit Broadway theater, but it has the latest technology. You know, we go to Broadway. Michelle and I go to Broadway. The funny thing is, Broadway theaters are actually kind of antiquated, even though they've been updated.
Some of them.
Some of them are, but
They
here.
smell like history.
Yes, they smell like it. The men's room is like, I don't know how tall men were back in the
Yes.
turn of the century, but I'm not that tall, and if I have to duck my head.
Architecture like 100 years ago or 200, everything was smaller and darker.
I'm from the Northeast
little-
United States.
a little-
All these
yeah.
historic places that are
Teeny.
in the Philadelphia, in the suburbs, New York, all the historic sites. People were smaller.
I don't know. I think it's everything in like building material. It was harder to build things bigger.
Yeah,
Or structural,
door
more
frames.
expensive. Why are
Having
things so much
having
smaller?
said that, we have a great Broadway theater. We get all the shows here, so everything comes through. We get to see all this stuff in a beautiful facility. And we both saw Back
to the Future. Have you seen it? Have you seen the musical? Taken, of course, from the 1985 film starring Michael J. Fox.
Is that what it's from?
Oh, I thought you were serious.
I was really
you
convinced
see
too.
my
I was like,
face?
no way.
I was like, dude, you didn't miss
I
that.
never made the connection. I just thought they both had a DeLorean and there was time travel.
Oh my gosh! So many people love this movie. A lot of guys love this movie
love
because
guys, the
they
guys,
just imagine
guy
themselves kind of in one of the leading roles. Of course, part of the
I just have to say,
And
it's
the car.
It's
What?
it's a guy movie because it's a guy movie because a guy's in love with his mom. He wants to, you know what I mean? They're resolving a lot of like edible issues in the film. You know, he wants to sleep with his mom, and that's why he traveled back in time.
This is a normal guy issue.
It's a normal guy issue.
This is a regular guy.
It's a regular
problem.
guy
wow,
issue.
you are adding a lot of freaking.
Are you
insight.
kidding me? John Mulaney has a whole bit on this. Do you remember saw him in his underwear and was calling him Calvin?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And she
yeah.
wanted
No,
to kiss
I know.
him and
She
wanted
was
to
all
date
over
him?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never seen it
I'm
being made
just-
fun of though. No, that's really.
I'm sending you the John Mulaney thing. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's hilarious.
It's really
It
funny.
all comes back
It's
to
really
John
funny.
Mulaney.
It was the pitch.
Okay.
They're trying to pitch it, you know.
Oh my God.
a very
so
funny-
no, part of the charm of this movie, other than he is in bed with his mother,
Other than that, it's all family stuff.
is that you've got two absolutely fabulous decades, musically, stylistically, and culturally. Starts in the 1980s, goes back to the 1950s. So for so many people in the audience at the Smith Center here, I felt like for the older people in the audience, they're loving the 50s aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for people like me who are alive in the 80s, I'm just totally geeking out on the 80s-ness of it. You know? And it's fabulous.
No, it's a great concept. It had a lot of trouble launching. There were technical issues with the show. They did a lot
because
of
it's
rewrites.
really high tech.
It's really high tech, but there was a lot of writing issues when they were just trying to get it to Broadway. It had an extended period on the road. It was in previews longer than most shows because they just kept rewriting and rewriting, and then they did the premiere, and it did okay. It did okay. On
When
Broadway.
did you see it? On
Friday
Broadway?
night. Oh no, I didn't see it on Broadway.
You
I was
saw it
reading
here.
about it because
You saw it
when
here.
I heard they bought when they bought it, A friend of mine, BT McNichol, was hired. He's an associate producer. He was the associate producer on Spamalot, on Billy Elliot, and 5 other really big shows. And he was hired to go through the MGM catalog and figure out what they could turn into musicals.
Oh, frick.
And that was his job for a number of years. So a lot of the companies went in and tried to find.
Was he involved in this?
He was not involved in this, but
We're having some whoppers.
they went through. They go through these properties, and like the fact that there's a built-in audience is a big deal. But now you're trying to retrofit musical numbers in the storyline.
So some of the music was actually from the movie, and most of the music was original score to the musical, correct? I believe so.
Well, they expanded. I mean, obviously Huey Lewis did a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
So what they tried to do is, when you work backwards and you try to put songs in, they don't necessarily naturally flow. This is getting to the point of my review of the show, because
Can I just interject? So because it's November 5th and it's an election day, we'd like you all. We have a coping mechanism. Get out your leftover Halloween candy and eat it all afternoon. Okay, go ahead.
I wasn't crazy about the show.
I love the show.
Yeah, I feel like it's Siskel and Ebert here.
What the heck is not to love about that show?
There was some issues with that show. A lot of
The
the songs.
performers were stunning.
Everybody was talented, but the guy who played Doc
kid?
was over the top, really mugging like crazy. He kept doing double, triple, quadruple takes. When intermission came, a lot of our.
Wait, you're opposed to people?
Oh no, I'm
mugging?
not. I'm a big ham, but I'm the biggest ham you'll ever meet. But I'm doing a video show from my house.
Those whoppers were good.
Yeah. You want to cut that in half for the
Yeah,
laser
we're
beam?
gonna split a Rolo.
But this guy was very at the top, but something was wrong with this particular night. During intermission, a lot of people left.
Oh no.
What?
Oh yeah, we left.
Oh my God.
We stayed for 2 more songs.
I'm not opposed to doing
and then
that.
we pulled the plug. Something
Well,
was
it's a
off.
2-hour and 40-minute show. First of all, no show has a right to be that long in 2024. That should have been on the ballot. That all shows are shortened to 90 minutes.
That's valid.
It's really difficult to split a Rolo unless you have a knife.
That's what I was gonna say,
What if you
laser.
had 2 Rolos?
2 Rolos. 2 Rolos.
Yeah.
Nice
Cass
catch.
is giving
There we
up
go.
her Rolo. Now, I thought the show, first of all, the character of Doc in Back to the Future has got to be one of the greatest characters
Marty!
ever.
Keep talking about weight.
He's like the mad professor, right? I mean, he has so much heart for, what's the kid's name?
Oh, Marty McFly?
Marty. He has so much,
McFly.
oh, when they're picking on the dad.
Oh yeah, it's so great. It's so great.
He has so much passion. He's so compassionate, rather, for Marty. But I wonder if we saw the same actor, because I know there was 2 casts because they had to alternate a little
they're not
bit.
doing they're not switching
Because
a cast night to night.
I think my doc was excellent. I went on
It
a
was
Saturday
Joseph
matinee.
Stevenson or something. Oh, maybe you got the swing. You may have gotten the swing.
May have. I'll tell you who was excellent. Probably the best performer in it.
Who?
The mom. The woman who played Marty McFly's mom.
I thought she was good.
Was
It didn't
so
seem
adorable.
like a standout.
And
but-
this tiny little thing with this giant voice. This girl was a standout.
yeah. I just think something happened. I'm not
Are you
writing
eating your Rolo?
Yeah, I'm not writing the show off. I think that I saw it. There was a technical issue in the beginning, and there was a wardrobe issue, and it just.
What was the wardrobe issue?
Someone was on stage, and then they had to run off stage because something wasn't working, and then during all those numbers, you could see there was like a hole where she would have been, and shit happens, In
You know what
shows.
blows my mind in any kind of Broadway show or show that comes through Las Vegas from Broadway is how many freaking numbers the swing cast has to be in, like the ensemble cast. Sometimes these people are in like 14, 15, 16
They're super
song
talented.
and dance numbers. And they're
incredibly
exhausting.
talented.
And they're always in mad shape.
Well, you saw Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hamilton is one of the most lyrically dense, script dense, movement dense, and dance dense plays ever. I've seen it multiple times. Seen it here, seen it on Broadway, saw it in LA.
Quit bragging.
And what you're amazed is like these, when you're on Broadway, you are the best of the best.
Oh my God.
And when you see Hamilton, these are the best of the best of the best. And it's really incredible.
What's your point, though, about it being, I thought you were going to say.
No. I'm just saying how talented they are and how much they have to remember. So you're talking about any of the cast. Doesn't matter if it's Back to the Future. These people have to be learn multiple roles in a show. That means they have to learn multiple choreography and multiple blocking.
Like in a 2 hour and 40-minute show. That's too many it's too many songs and too many dance.
And there's a lot of technical stuff in that show because of the car.
I want to go through all the Broadway shows, all of them, and I want to do not quite a Cliff Notes edit, but I want to see every show, and I can sit there with the program, and I can tell you which numbers need to go. Slash. Do you know what I mean?
You are ruthless.
The musical killer.
Ruthless.
Too much of a good thing. No, I'm just saying less is more. Leave them wanting more.
Totally.
Have you seen Wicked?
Not in years.
Not yet.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Rusty was
Coming, isn't it?
Rusty was just saying that they're gonna have some local auditions, but that seems I'm surprised because usually it's a touring company.
Well, I think the big thing is the Wicked movie coming out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much all that's talked about here in a moment.
Grande.
One of the big holiday.
Grande's in it.
Yeah, little Grande.
Your little Grande.
God, that girl's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
She was on SNL a few weeks ago.
She was.
So talented.
We're going to have to do a whole separate show every week.
I think we should. We should do
I
a
think
little.
we should,
Yeah,
too.
because they're not on every week. But it's,
After SNL.
Yeah, after SNL. But it's been a busy week here. We have Elton John and pardon me, we have Billy Joel and Sting, and I'm seeing them on Saturday.
Billy Joel on Saturday too.
Are you gonna be there too?
God, it's Billy Joel week.
I'm gonna be
I
there.
forgot it's
Yeah,
Billy
we're gonna
Joel
go
week.
see it. Yeah.
Woo!
It's a
Coming to Las
birthday.
Vegas.
It's a birthday gift from a friend of mine. So
Oh, that's
she's
so nice.
taking me. Yeah, it's Sharon Maloof.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is it T-Mobile or is it
It's Allegiant.
Allegiant?
It's Allegiant.
One night, Billy Joel at Allegiant.
Yeah,
Just
and
him
I've
and the
seen,
piano.
and I saw the reason I said Billy Joel and John. I saw that show. I saw the, and Billy Joel is a huge part of my. I just hit the mic. Is a huge part of my life. I used to make out with a young lady in 9th grade.
Wearing your-
a
Hopefully you were
stranger.
also in 9th grade. Yes.
I was in
okay.
9th grade and she
Got
was
it.
a senior.
Oh!
And I got a lot of crap for that from the senior guys. And
Yeah,
she
you
was
did.
very pretty and a lot of heat. A
Oh
lot
my,
of heat.
how'd you score that? First
I'm
of all,
just a very entertaining guy.
oh wow.
And I was very thin then. Very thin
Wow.
and very funny. And I had a lot of confidence back then. I don't know what happened the
love
last
it.
few years. I have zero
You have a lot of confidence. You're pretty good. You're
Yeah, I
good
don't
at
think
that.
it's gone
You're good at
anywhere.
that.
But she was, it was just one of those things. We didn't have any place to go to make out. So one of our friends would drive us around and they played the Stranger album as we made out in the back of the car. And that was just seared into my mind for multiple reasons because Billy Joel's amazing. Every song tells a story. I think actors love Billy Joel because every song, you can see it. You can see like
You really
Vienna, and
Yep.
The Stranger, all those songs that are just so vivid.
To me, it's like the soundtrack. Right, growing up on the West Coast, I always felt it was like teaching me what it was like to live in New York, to grow up in New York. It was like it
Right.
seemed like almost the soundtrack,
Right.
right?
It is. That's how I feel about it. And then I'm originally from Philadelphia. My father was a steel worker. Here's Philly. Here's East Stroudsburg. I went to college. Here's Allentown, the famous Allentown. Then Billy
Living
Joel
here
writes a
in
song
Allentown.
about Allentown, about our fathers. I mean, I cried. Because that was my dad. He was a World War II veteran. He was a steel worker. And I was thinking, how does this guy constantly write these songs that are so incisive in
Oh
a
my God.
moment. And then he wrote,
wow.
the Vietnam song, and that obviously I was not in Vietnam.
I just got chills.
But I had friends who were, just my
Yeah.
brother George had a low draft number, but he was concerned about being drafted and going to Vietnam.
Okay,
So to
I'm
say,
gonna.
my voice coach was Billy Joel's choir teacher, Chuck Arnold.
Chuck Arnold.
Wow.
I live next to Billy Joel.
Oh, so Mr. Robbie, you're from Long Island then?
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Shay Garber.
Okay, I will stake claim to one Billy Joel song, and that is "Come Out, Virginia, Don't Make Her Wait." Catholic girls start much too
Again, the
late.
Catholic girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like
again.
I own that song.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that
again.
song.
I was like, who else is thinking about Catholic girls? And I was in high school at that time, and and I was so lucky to be coming of age when his career had already started, but that period of The Stranger and 52nd Street and those like the 3 or 4 albums in that range, and he was pumping them out, and they were like hit after hit after hit, and even if it wasn't a hit, somehow the song affected you in a very memorable
Sing us
way.
a song, you piano man.
And you know what? And that's another
Sing
thing.
us a song.
If you hear that song now, most people when they go to a Holiday Inn or a Ramada, there's nobody in the lounge anymore. But that was a real thing, and that was everywhere. That was Maine to California. From you could be in Arkansas, and there was a guy playing piano and singing songs with the big brandy snifter, tip jar.
Yep.
And that was part of like Americana
Yeah.
for a very long time, and then gone.
Bring back the pianos.
Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
we have them here, but no one's singing those types of songs.
Right.
It's all that high-end crazy stuff.
I have 3 Whoppers on my desk that I would like to throw at you.
Oh, see if you can get our mouth.
Yep, that's
Okay,
what I
let's
want to
go.
do. That's what I want to do. Okay, here we go. All right. JJ first. Here we go.
Hi.
You guys are like baby ducks. Here we go. Oh, it went to Johnny.
I didn't give enough.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
didn't give
It's okay.
enough.
I don't think I would have gone.
Okay, here's a
I'm
warm
gonna be
up.
his catch.
This
back.
is your okay, Johnny.
Oh!
I heard that.
It's right here. I feel like I just got hit by a paintball. Am I bleeding? Am I okay?
Okay, last one.
Okay, last one.
All right, hold on. Okay, one of us is gonna get it.
Yeah, one
us
of
is
you
gonna
guys get this.
One
Here
of
we
us
go.
is
Do it
gonna
high.
Oh, it was
Oh, I
so
can
Yeah.
get
close.
that.
Did it hit your
but
face?
It hit my face.
You know what I just realized? We should brought the Kamala and Trumpy dolls today.
I had.
Oh my god.
I had brothers
Nice
at my
jacket.
in my high school who used to do that. They'd spit grapes into each other's mouth.
Oh, that's
And they,
Oh, were they Menendez brothers?
oh.
God, you know what? We deep dived on that story 2 weeks ago.
But now they're
3
getting
weeks ago.
released,
I
or they're
can't-
getting.
I think
Resentenced?
the possibility
Resentenced?
there's the possibility of being resentenced.
Okay.
I like that game. We should play that every time.
Love
the
that.
Whopper
You
game.
need like a little gun.
Maybe
I do.
something softer.
I don't want to hurt you guys though.
You want that
Nerf.
harder?
No, I want it more.
Maybe we
arc.
should try
I want
grapes.
I want more of an arc. Grapes would be great.
Yeah.
Grapes.
Feeding time.
Feeding time.
Feed the host.
All right, so you did something with your old host from Morning Blend.
Oh, I did. Yeah, my old TV host Sean Tempesta and I hosted Light the Night for Leukemia and Lymphoma, LLS Blood Cancer Foundation. These events are held all over the country. I bet you someone watching right now has been to them. So here's what they do. You have not been to the event, correct? No. Oh man,
Is the candle lighting?
does it get you? Yeah. So you come in and you get a candle. You get a yellow candle, yellow lantern, if someone in your family has passed away of blood cancer. You get a red lantern if you or someone in your family is a survivor of blood cancer. And you get a white lantern if you're currently battling blood cancer.
Holy cow!
And we have hundreds at the first time I hosted this event, thousands of people outside
very
raising
moving.
money. And one at a time we go, if you're currently battling blood cancer or someone in your family, light your lantern, raise it up. We do it right at sunset. And then everyone has their lanterns lit and we all go on a walk at night.
Beautiful.
It is something else. I lost my dad to blood cancer in 2011.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, for me, of course, I choked up halfway,
Yeah.
through the ceremony just for a moment but it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful event, a great way to raise money.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know if I've said it on this show, but I said it at my birthday and you were there. This is one of the most philanthropic towns I've ever lived in. It's a small town, but there's so many incredible philanthropic organizations. I was last night up in the McDonald Highlands at one of those $34 million homes. And it was for Hope for the City and Kids for this Hope for Kids. It's a really wonderful thing, raising money so kids can have like nice Christmases and toys and all the things. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people that are struggling here and they're homeless and they're struggling. So it's a great organization doing great work.
So cool. Hey, we have a little video from your birthday.
Oh, you do?
I just went around with the phone, just a little bit of B-roll. You might have heard us mention earlier on the live stream that Johnny had this birthday party full of both Republican and Democratic friends.
It wasn't set up as a political event.
No, not at all.
I have friends.
That's a side note.
I have friends on both sides, and I think it's important. And I think it's important.
It is
I think
important.
That's important.
But we had it at you threw the party at a new Mexican restaurant that's very hot.
The struggling actor I'm trying to help out. His name is Mark Wahlberg. He opened a place up. He's done some small roles.
Soon will be running for mayor of Las Vegas.
Mayor? I think he's going to run for governor. I think he's going to run for governor.
He starts a new business every week
Mark
here in Las Vegas.
begged me to have my party there, and I said, Mark, anything I can do.
Okay. Are you seeing the clip?
I see it.
Okay, let's pull it up. We're going to take a look at some of Johnny's
And it was
friends.
great, by the way.
It was a great vibe.
It was a great
and I
vibe.
love that you had singers, you had live music, you had showgirls, and a step and repeat.
And a caricaturist.
And a caricaturist.
And Cass.
And
me.
Cass was by the door with her. I got to meet Cass's hunky boyfriend finally.
Yay!
Miles.
I'm so glad.
That was so exciting.
All right, let's check it out.
Good friend Johnny Katz.
There isn't a blue Yugo operating the light where the lights are still working. We're about the same age. I remember the Yugos. There's not one on the road right now. If you can find a Yugo, put it in your act. Hello, my name is John Katz-Lamidas.
Look at her
You know what's hilarious? It's hilarious. So we get the food, right? And walk over. I end up talking to people. I never got to eat.
Besides the one other one.
Right there, I got called.
With all the weddings that you've been to,
And I
I think
never
you usually
went
have
back.
one
There's
more,
twins.
right?
We're going to be guests on the show very soon.
Yay! Johnny's birthday!
Yay!
Everybody wish Johnny a happy birthday if you haven't already.
Thank you.
Another year older, another year more fabulous. Do you have goals for this year?
Oh, I've got some serious goals. I have some really big
yeah,
goals,
baby.
career goals with what I'm doing in the corporate world,
Love
and some comedy goals.
Love
you
it.
know, and
Love
like
it.
I said, seeing Phil make that transition to a studio executive, that's really inspiring to me.
Awesome.
And I have a lot of energy, so it's I'm ready to make some
Dude,
changes.
you
And I
do.
want this show to blow up, so more people watch it. Please share it. Tell people about it. We love doing this. We want to make it more, build it up, make it more, get out there, go to these restaurants, go to these places, let people know about what's happening here in Las Vegas, but have this banter, which we love doing, and it's our whole, Regis and Kelly kind of thing.
That's right. Exactly. Hey, speaking of restaurants, we have an invite to go to Amari, the new Italian restaurant. They want us to come try their fall menu out at the Uncommons, the new fancy
yes.
Italian. So I'll talk to you about that after the show.
Perfect.
All right, guys, hang in there. Stay calm. Vote on.
Vote on.
Stay calm.
Stay
vote on.
Kamala.
Stay Kamala.
Stay Kamala and
Obama.
vote
We didn't even
Obama.
talk about that sketch. but
Oh, that was a
anyway.
great sketch.
And we'll see you next
So
week.
funny. And we'll know who the president is.
Oh,
You
my
would
gosh.
think.
We
We
hope.
will.
Right.
We hope.
We hope.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.